Well, welcome to the very first tutorial for our class, IT-338. I hope that you enjoyed watching the set up a new site through an outside vendor and YouTube. I'm going to do the same thing within our own environment, so you'll be able to get an idea of exactly how we're going to run the course. We're going to be using a site that is key off of WIP, meaning work in project. You'll see that the way the book is set up is pretty easy to follow. So we're going to have a separate site for each project in a book. So I just want to show you the first site and how we can create our very first document. If you take a look at my screen right now, you're going to see that I have a window open. I've already been working on it. I've already done the Bistro site over here, which is a very good introductory site for it. So I hope that you enjoy it. What I'm going to do now is just take you through a few of the menus, but primarily to start you with a new site. So get used to the file menu, which is a lot of the same items that you're normally going to see: new, open, close, save as, import and export. Edit also has the copy, paste, so on and so forth that you're used to, and a few other things which we'll get into later on. View, again, we're going to be primarily using three modes. We're going to be using code, view, and either split or live view. And the insert gives you a lot of options, as well as options on the right. Tools, again, we have things that you'll be able to use in tools, and you'll see that as we go on. And find is a good thing to find and replace. If you don't want to do a lot of copying and pasting, you can do it all at one time. And site is right now where we're going to begin, by starting a new site. So you can see there's two things: new sites and managed sites. If you have a site you need to create, then you're obviously going to use new sites. If you have a site that you need to manage, then you're obviously going to use managed sites. So we're going to start with a new site, and we're going to be working off of GoBerry Site, and I will show you that in a full video in here. Right now, I'm going to be working off of my own computer for simplicity's sake. Then we'll go transfer it to the GoBerry site. So the very first thing you need to do is name the site. So I'll just call it first site. And then it's going to default to wherever you were in the very, very last one. So notice that I have a CBerry drive IT-338, year 2020, and WIP, which again stands for work in progress. So I'm going to click on the file folder, and I'm going to go into 2020, and I'll just create a folder called first. Pretty soon I'm going to talk about upper and lower case, but your directory names for the site itself can be uppercase. Anything underneath that is going to be all lowercase. So the first is actually the root directory of the site. Click on that. It'll say first down here. Click on select folder and make sure that it says first over here. If everything is good, that's fine. Now, normally we're going to be looking at things called servers, where you're actually going to add a server to upload. You have CSS processors, and then you have advanced settings. So once we create the site, we're really going to be working into advanced settings. So I want you to click on local information, and you can see it gives two options that are not filled in right now. First thing we need to look at is the default images folder. So I'm going to create a new folder. I'm obviously going to name it images. Notice it's all lowercase. Once I click on that, I will select it. And I don't need to worry about this site for right now. We also need to make sure that everything that we're doing is in lowercase. You can leave this case-sensitive links checking alone for right now. Cloaking, which we'll go over to in another time, that is going to allow you to create local files such as Photoshop files, where you really don't want to upload a Photoshop file which is is very, very large, or certain flash files. Maybe you don't want to load documents that are going to be converted into a PDF. So you would cloak any of those from being uploaded to the file server on an automatic sync. Very easy to do. Just choose click cloak close, and notice that it's already got the flash files, the PSD, and a bunch of other things. But you may also want to add .docx. Now this does not mean you cannot upload it. It just means it won't go up automatically. We don't really need to worry about design notes. Just leave that blank. We don't really need to worry about file view columns. Contribute is allows collaboration between different people. PHP, we're not going to be working in PHP in here, but allows us to have the different Bootstrap. We will be working with Bootstrap. We will be working with templates. We will be working with jQuery. We will be working with web fonts. And we also will be working with animation limits. You do not need to worry about them at this time. So I'm going to just click on save and go about my merry way. So now that we're done with that, we have a site that has absolutely nothing. How exciting is that? So the very first thing we're going to do, if we want to create a new site, we're going to click on File. Now, one thing I want to point out is when you first load up Dreamweaver, this toolbar here may or may not be here. To get that, you're going to go to Window and look for Toolbars. And you're going to see right now only Common is there. So you're going to go, well, how do I get those? The answer is you don't have that option until you actually open up a file. So once we open up a file, we're going to revisit that. So I'm going to click on File and New, and gives us the options for what we want to do. We can do a simple one with Bootstrap starter templates. Right now, we're just going to do a new document. And we want HTML and we want HTML5. If you want to add the document title right then and there, that's fine. And if you want to add an associated CSS file, that's fine. We're not going to really need to do that right now. If you have Adobe CC, the full-blown version, you can use extract to actually take Photoshopped comps. If you don't have it, you're not going to be able to do it. We're going to click on Create. And it creates a file that looks like absolutely nothing. How exciting is that? Not at all. So what I want to do is show you that it actually did do something. And we can close all these things out. They get annoying after a while, but they're also very helpful at times. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click on Code, and you can see it actually added some stuff. Leave this stuff alone. But notice that it does say untitled document. So there are different ways that you can actually change the name of the document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this like this for right now. I do not see the properties on the very bottom. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to Window and select Properties. In all probability, it's going to put that right in the middle of your file, which it did. So what we want to do is dock it at the very bottom. It's a little bit tricky. What you have to do is take it down a little bit slow. Wait for a blue line. Notice I'm doing it very slow. Once I get the blue line, I can let it go. And there it is. Now it's docked in here. So notice we have document title, says undocumented title here. So there's two ways. The title is a tag. I'm going to just put in for the title, first document. And once I click on refresh, you'll notice that it now says first document. So I'm going to delete this here and just going to put in my very first document. And as soon as I hit the enter key, it changes. So now they have two different ways. The document title is very, very important. You always want to have specific information in your document title, which we'll be going over in future videos in there. We want to help the search engine in here. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to click Save. Now notice the little star over here. The little star next to the X, X means close. This little star over here means work has been done, but it's not saved. So I'm going to click on this Save over here. This is Save All. Now I know you're used to the little disk that's there, or a double disk. They have changed that in Dreamweaver. You will have to call 1-800 Dear Dreamweaver, explain this to me to get an answer. But this is what they did. Click on Save. It will ask you for the name of it. I'm going to type in only index, which is the home page of your file. I'm not typing in an extension because it will default to it since we chose it in the preferences. So if we go over here, notice we have index over here added to our files. We still don't have anything in here. If we go to Live View, we still don't have anything. So I'm just going to quickly switch to Design View and go, welcome to IT-338. I'm going to go back to CoView. And notice it says, welcome to IT-338, but there's no tags. So I'm going to go back to Design View. I'm going to hit the Enter key. And it doesn't look like anything actually changed. I'm going to go back to CoView. And notice that it put a paragraph tag. The P stands for paragraph tag. The /P stands for end of paragraph. It started a new paragraph. And this ampersand NBSB stands for a non-breaking space, which you'll see. This is only visible in CoView. So now that we're done with this, let's go back into Live View. If I can find my mouse, we're here. Click on Live View, and we have Live View so you can see them both. Now you're going to get different options in Live View than you would in Design View, such as this paragraph tag here, and then you can add classes and many other things in here. And then you have these over here that allows you to edit things in here. For right now, we're just going to leave it. I'm going to save it. And we're done. Now I'm going to close it. So how do I open it back up? Very simple. This is just like File Explorer in Windows. I can just double click on it. And there we go. So that's it for this video. I hope this is a good start for you. I generally keep my videos less than 15 minutes. I feel 15 minutes is a good time frame to do. It's also, if you miss something, you can go back and see them as many times as you see fit. We always try to do our best here at GoBerry to be as open and honest and as available as possible. So if you need anything at all, please let me know. I encourage my students, if they need a specific tutorial, that they can let me know, and I'll do my best to do it for them. So have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.